Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our group will present about the relationship between daily screen time and sleep duration among the UiTM student. Firstly, we go to the introduction, background of study. For this part, I want people in UiTM to know that there are so many people already have exceeding daily screen time which cause their sleep to affect negatively. One factor of which is prolonged screen use, especially before sleep. By exposed to the blue light and stimulating online activity, we delay and reduce their sleep quality. Therefore, people, especially students of UiTM, need to know the importance of the relationship between daily screen time and sleep duration among students to support the well-being of them and their academic performance. We go to the objective of study. There are three objectives of study. First, we want to identify the relationship between daily screen time and sleep duration among UiTM students. Second, to develop a linear regression model that explains how screen time influences sleep duration. And lastly, to predict sleep duration based on the linear regression model obtained from the collecting data.
Okay, first of all, research design. This study used a quantitative research design because the data collected are numerical and suitable for statistical analysis. A cross-sectional approach was applied, meaning that the data were collected at one point in time. Primary data were obtained directly from respondents using online questionnaire to examine the relationship between daily screen time and sleep duration among UiTM students. Variable of the study. The independent variable in this study is daily screen time, which refers to the number of hours students spend using the electronic device each day. The dependent variable is sleep duration, measured as the average number of hours students sleep per night. Both variables are quantitative and measured on ratio scale, allowing meaningful comparison and statistical analysis. Third, population and sample. The population of this study consists of all UiTM students. From this population, a sample of 20 respondents was selected. Stratified random sampling was used to ensure that students from different group or background were fairly represented in the study. Then, data collection method. Data were collected using an online questionnaire created with Google Form. The questionnaire was distributed through social media platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, and Telegram. Participation was voluntary, and respondents were informed about the purpose of the study before answering the questionnaire. Then, questionnaire structure. The questionnaire consists of four sections. Section A contains a consent statement to ensure voluntary participation. Section B collected demographic information such as age and gender. And Section C measured daily screen time, while Section D measured sleep duration. Data analysis method. Data analysis was conducted using SPSS software. Descriptive statistics were used to summarize the data, while graphical methods such as histogram and scatter plots were used to visualize the distribution of variables. Bayesian correlation was applied to examine the relationship between screen time and screen duration, followed by simple linear regression to predict sleep duration based on screen time. Lastly, ethical consideration. Ethical consideration were strictly followed throughout the study. Respondents provided informed consent before participating. No personal identification were collected, ensuring anonymity and confidentiality. All data collected were used strictly for academic purposes.
In this scatter plot, the data is collected from 20 students in UiTM. It shows the daily screen time on the x-axis and the sleep duration hours on the y-axis. Each dot is represented by one student. You can see that there is a very clear downward trend. As the screen time increases from left to right, the sleep hours decrease from top to bottom. Students with lower screen time gets 9 hours of sleep, when students with higher screen time only sleeps for 4 to 5 hours. This pattern shows a negative correlation. The regression model proved that screen time is a meaningful predictor of reduced sleep. Most students reported relatively high screen use and lower sleep hours.
This study examines the relationship between screen time and sleep duration using data from 20 respondents. Based on the SPSS output, all data are valid with no missing values. The mean screen time is 4.845 hours, while the mean sleep duration is 6.545 hours, indicating that respondents spend almost 5 hours on screens and sleep about 6.5 hours on average. This supports the scatter plot, which shows that higher screen time is associated with shorter sleep duration. The median screen time is 4.9 hours, and the median sleep duration is 6.5 hours, meaning half of the respondents fall above and below these values. The mode shows that the most common screen time is 3 hours, while the most common sleep duration is 5 hours. Based on the SPSS output, the descriptive statistics table provides valuable insights into the data for both variables, which is screen time and sleep duration. The mean screen time is 4.850 hours, with a standard deviation of 2.00091 hours, indicating that on average, respondents spend about 4.85 hours on screens, but there is considerable variability among individuals. Similarly, the average sleep duration is 6.545 hours, with a standard deviation of 1.34222 hours, suggesting that while the typical sleep duration is around 6.55 hours, individual sleep times vary quite a bit. The sample size for both variables is 20 respondents. These statistics imply that overall, higher screen time tends to be associated with lower sleep duration, supporting the initial observation from the scatter plot. The standard deviations reveal the extent of variation within the sample, indicating that not all respondents follow the same pattern, but the general trend points toward a potential negative relationship between the two variables. The SPSS correlation table indicates a very strong negative relationship between screen time and sleep duration. The Pearson correlation coefficient between these two variables is negative 0.991, which suggests that as screen time increases, sleep duration tends to decrease significantly. The significance value is less than 0.001, indicating that this correlation is statistically significant and unlikely to be due to random chance. The regression model summary further quantifies this relationship, showing a correlation coefficient of 0.991, which signifies this very strong negative linear relationship between screen time and sleep duration. The R-square value of 0.982 indicates that approximately 98.2% of the variation in sleep duration can be explained by the amount of screen time, highlighting the model's high explanatory power. The adjusted R-square of 0.981 reconfirmed the stability and reliability of this model. Additionally, the standard error of the estimate, 0.18417, suggests that the predicted sleep durations are quite accurate within the model's predictions. The ANOVA output indicates that the regression model examining the relationship between screen time and sleep duration is statistically significant. The f-value of 991.114 is very high, and the associated p-value is less than 0.001. Which means there is a less than 0.1% chance that this result is due to random variation. This strongly suggests that screen time has a meaningful and significant effect on sleep duration.
For discussion part, the findings show a negative relationship between daily screen time and sleep duration among UiTM students. As screen time increases, the average hour of sleep decrease, indicate that excessive screen usage may disrupt normal sleep patterns. This result is consistent with previous studies which suggest that prolonged exposure to screen, especially before bedtime, can delay sleep and reduce sleep quality. The regression analysis indicate that screen time is a significant predictor of sleep duration, although other factors may also influence sleep behavior. Students with higher screen usage are more likely to experience shorter sleep duration, possibly due to late-night academic work, social media, and entertainment. This finding highlight the importance of managing screen time, particularly at night, to promote healthier sleep habits among university students. Overall, The study suggests that reducing unnecessary screen exposure may help improve sleep duration and overall student well-being.
Overall, excessive screen time can contribute to a shorter sleep duration. This matters because insufficient sleep can harm academic performances, concentration, mood, and also health. Understanding this will help students and the university to promote a healthier digital behavior. As for the recommendations, students must try to limit their screen time, especially 1 to 2 hours before bed. And on their devices, they must use night mode, blue light filters, or some restriction apps. Next, UiTM can also run an awareness campaign and workshops on screen time tips, tool orientation, and counseling. Future studies should also include more variables such as caffeine or activity type, larger samples across campuses, and to track patterns over a full semester.